Aloha from Alaska. Usually when we do these episodes, we're coming to you from our backyard in Hawaii, but today, this is our backyard in Alaska. And today, I'd like to show you a recipe called Furikake Salmon. Super simple, like so easy, anyone can do it, but really delicious. But before we even get started, can we just talk about how special salmon are? I mean, salmon are born in streams and rivers. And they then go live out the years of their life wild and free in the ocean. And then right when they're ready to give birth and then die, they somehow find their way back to the exact spot that they were born. They lay their eggs and then they die, becoming nutrients for the birds, the bears, the forest, the whole ecosystem. And so they are really the foundation of the nature up here. And that's why it's so important to protect our waterways, especially from things like dams or development, things that will completely stop salmon from returning home, because that can just wipe out the next generation to come. And it's already hard enough work for them to make their way upstream. And when it comes to hard work, the lifestyle up here, we've been learning, is exactly that. It's so fun, so gratifying. But we are learning quickly that a simple life isn't necessarily an easy life. Everything from chopping wood, to make fires, to keep warm, to just the fact that almost everything we do here is done by boat. Even just running daily errands. We got mail. Civilization behind me. That is our connection to the outside world. And when everything is done by boat, and we're here in the fall, not the summer, it rains a lot. Okay, so this is one of the realities of living up here in Alaska during fall. And that is my little tiny boat out there filling with water. I don't think that's good. I think that's very bad. But it also means that when there's a bright, sunny day, we want to make the most of it and we want to play hard. And we decided that we wanted to go fishing. And then we realized that we have a baby named Buddy, and so even the days of play are still really, really hard. And this day of fishing was no different. Justin and I were having fun, Buddy not so much. But, you know, we knew that it's gonna take a lot of patience to catch a salmon, because summer's over, most of the fish have made their way upstream already. We're just like waiting for one or two latecomers. I don't think it's a keeper, honestly. But every single time we got a bite, it didn't end up being a big fish. It ended up being a little buddy-sized fish. We call them shakers, and so we kept throwing them back because we want these salmon to live out their whole lives. Bye-bye, fishy. Bye-bye, buddy. But we also wanted a big mama just to come bite that hook. This guy makes it pretty amazing. Look at his style right there. And then it finally happened. Holy moly. I mean, the minute I even grabbed that rod and felt like a real hit, a real fight, and knew there was a fat fish on the end of that line, I can't even tell you how electric that feeling was.
What do you got, Kimmy?
Oh, I have a baby halfway out of his car seat freaking out and crying. And I have a fatty salmon at the end of this line.
Look at Buddy.
And I'm sorry, Buddy, but the fatty salmon's coming first. Buddy was freaking out. Justin was kind of fumbling with his camera gear.
Oh shit, I wasn't recording. Okay, you want to do that again?
But it was this like beautiful energy of ultimate chaos, and all I could think was, I want this fish in the boat. I want this fish in the boat. Okay, honey, I'm just about ready for a net.
Okay, just a second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can do that.
Oh!
And when it finally happened, I can't even tell you the sweet feeling of victory that came over all of us, or at least both of us. Talk about beautiful chaos. And then within no time, it's crazy. After spending hours having all that patience just to get that first fish, it's bigger than you. Then it's like we blinked and we caught two more.
What just happened, Kimmy?
Well, we got another salmon. All this on a very little boat, you know. It's kind of what some people would call, you know, cluster fun. But so it ended up being such an epic day out on the ocean. We're not here like trying to catch all the salmon or trying to fill up our freezers necessarily. We just wanted to have enough to eat and to do it as a family, and it was an incredible experience. And then to bring it home and clean our fish and share it with our friends here was awesome. And of course, anyone who subscribes to this channel, you probably already know, we already ate our favorite parts, the throwaway parts, the collars and the bellies. We fried them up immediately and they were just succulent, crispy butter. So delicious. And so now that those parts are eaten, the carcasses all went for crab bait. Now we're gonna do a recipe using an actual fillet. And so this is what you do. It's very super simple, but it's great. Look at that beautiful color. First step, season your fish. If you have salt and pepper, that's the basics. I actually only have salt, so that's okay. Next step, we're just going to smother on a layer of mayo. And it can be real mayonnaise or it can be vegan-naise. That works really nicely too, but we just want this creamy, oily, beautiful layer. This is where I kind of feel like a plasterer or maybe a baker frosting a cake, where you just kind of, you know, have fun with it, make it nice and even.
Oh, it bounces your face really nice.
Oh, sweet mayonnaise. You're just too good to me. So that looks perfect. Next step, furikake. Okay, so furikake is basically dried seaweed. People call it rice seasoning. That's another name it's called. But it's dried nori, dried seaweed that you can sprinkle. It oftentimes has sesame seeds in it, so we're gonna give it a beautiful, look at that, generous sprinkle. And think about this, right? This is a wonderful fish from the ocean with some wonderful seaweed from the ocean. It's gonna go great together. Okay, so honestly, this already is furikake salmon. I did find extra sesame seeds, so I'm just gonna give it a little extra sprinkle, just because. So see, it's like a fish cake. You got your beautiful salmon cake, you got your mayo frosting, and you got your sprinkles. What do you do next with the cake? You put it in the oven. I'm just gonna put it in this beautiful cast iron pan. Woo, yeah. And I'm gonna pop this right in the oven. If you have a big whole fillet, like you know, too big for a pan, then put it on a cookie sheet or a baking pan, anything it'll fit on. And you're gonna cook this for 7 to 10 minutes on 400 to 425. And then you're gonna take it out, and you're not done yet, then you're gonna broil it. Okay, so now I'm turning this to broil. For some ovens, you would just leave it in here because the broiler, the heat source, will come from the top of that oven. But for this one, it's actually on the bottom. So this fish is cooked, but I want the top to get extra love. And Buddy's awake from his nap. Main thing when you're broiling is do not forget about it, because it's a 1 to 2 minute max thing. Any more, you're gonna burn it. So don't just start doing other projects. I'm actually using this time to just make some musubis, because they remind me of Buddy when he wears his hoods up here and he has a pointy little head and short and stout. Okay, I can hear it sizzling. Looks beautiful. But I'll show you this outside. Let's go eat outside. Buddy needs to be outdoors. Got the musubis. I got our big musubi, musu buddy bee. Wanna have a picnic? Doesn't it feel kind of weird to eat salmon in the woods like a bear might come? Buddy bear. Okay. You see the salmon? That's why Daddy and I fish. Okay? Right there. Not just to torture you. And as you can see, the top formed this golden brown crust over here. That light layer of mayo is gonna just melt into it all and keep it nice and moist. And then the salmon. First bite goes to Buddy's. You earned it, son. Is it worth Mom and Dad dragging you out there? It's good for your brain. Look at that. It's just moist and delicious. Can I have this bite? Is that okay with you? I'm going to take it. We've done good. We've done real good. Here you go. My absolute favorite part about this recipe is that it's so simple, easy, and fast. And in just a few ingredients, but ingredients that just go together so well. The toasted sesame seeds on the top give it that crunch and flavor, and then just the furikake, that seaweed. It's just such a perfect flavor to go with the salmon. Yes, buddy. Yes, I will feed you. I think the most special part about catching the fish is that we did it as a family, which isn't always the easiest thing to do, but it definitely makes it the most rewarding. Ouch, he has teeth now. He got teeth since being in Alaska. Quick, Justin, before the little bear cub eats it all.
How good is that, buddy?
These are silver salmon that we've been catching, also known as cohos, and they are just so good. Just joking. Here you go. And fun to catch. They're a good fight too. Can you say, thank you, salmon? That means thank you in buddy language. And thank you for joining us. Please do subscribe, and we'll see you back next week. Thank you, fishy.